Yo, what's going on, everyone? This is Valoramous, and welcome to another music producer tutorial by myself, Valoramous. And in this tutorial, we're going to discuss how to make your drops more impactful upon the first beat of the drop. So in order to do this, you need to think about how the listener listens to a track throughout time. They listen to a track from left to right. Whereas when you're creating these drops, you're generally thinking about the track from top down. So if you think about the track in a horizontal view, you need to think in your mind, how is the track changing with the various frequencies throughout time? So 3 ways to do this is by applying a high-pass filter that cuts a bit of the lows, not too much, but a little bit, in that build-up section. You can also use a gain or utility knob to lower the volume a little bit, and then you can use a high shelf to remove just a little bit of the high frequencies. And when you do this throughout the build-up section, this is going to create a very impactful moment at that first beat of that drop. So in order to do automation, I like to apply to the stereo out channel. And generally, I have an EQ as the first plugin in this chain. And this red slope right here, this is the low cut. This purple shelf is going to be the high shelf cut. And then I also use a gain knob to reduce some of the volume in that build-up section so the drop sounds a bit louder. So what this looks like is the gain it'll decrease slightly in the build-up sections. I have it negative 1.8, and you can zoom in. This is generally before 1 bar before the drop. So it's going to look like this. And then you can apply a curve. So you apply the curve with this button right here, automation curve setting, and then you can hit command, and then you can make this curve sharper or more gradual, more like a straight line, but I like to have it fairly sharp. Now, in addition to the gain, you can also apply the high pass filter or a low cut, and I'll show you what this looks like. The low cut is going to cut frequencies up to about 120 to 160 hertz in the buildup. So when this track plays, what you'll see is when I move this cursor, it's going to, as you can see it right there, cut is coming more into the mix. And then it hits max cut right here at 160 hertz. And then it goes back to no cut right before the drop. Now, same thing with this high shelf gain. I have a negative 2.5 gain, and you can see the same thing. This is what it's doing throughout time. It's applying this cut right here, and it's applying both cuts at the same time. You can see at max capacity, there's a slight reduction in those upper frequencies from 2500 hertz all the way to 20,000 hertz. And this is going to make for that much more impactful moment, because then in this bar before the drop, everything is removed. Usually there's either a moment of silence or like a drum fill, and then when you get to the first beat of that first drop, suddenly all these frequencies that you previously did not hear for the last few seconds are in the mix, and it sounds that much more impactful. So it's about contrast, it's about transitions, and it's about this noticeable change in the overall frequency range or the dynamics of the mix throughout time, and from a horizontal perspective, not a vertical or top-down perspective, which is how the producers normally create these drops, as you think about it from top down, but you also have to think about these arrangements from left to right and bring that listener on an actual journey throughout time. So there you have it. If you have any other comments, questions, tips, or tricks to share with the audience, then please leave those in the comments below, and I'll see you in the next video.
Through fire and through flame, I'll rise up and defend my name. In war and in death, I'll stand strong until my last